Hare Krishna. So we are reading from chapter 2, contents of Gita summarized. I think last time when we stopped at verse number 35. Okay. 35. Okay. So today we will start from verse number 36. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Avaccha vadamscha bahun. Avaccha vadamscha bahum. Vadishyanti tavahitaha. Vadishyanti tavahitaha. Nidantastava samarthyam. Nidantastava samarthyam. Tato dukha taram nukim. Tato dukha taram nukim. Somebody who has a mic can read the translation please for me. Is readable? Yeah, should I make it a little bit more bigger? Is this okay? Better? Yes please, somebody read the translation. माते चालू है ना माइक, तो रीड करो.
Your enemies will
चालू है माता जी, चालू है.
Your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn you your ability, but it is more painful for you.
So your enemies will describe you in many unkind words and scorn your ability with what could be more. So when you speak on the mic, Mataji, just keep it like very close by. And yes, you may also read the purport.
Lord Krishna was astonished in the beginning at Arjuna's uncalled for plea for compassion, and he described his compassion as befitting the non-Aryan. Now, in so many words, he has proved his statement against Arjuna's so-called compassion.
So, Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Prabhupada ke Jai, Shri Gurudev ki Jai. So, Arjun is refusing to fight the battle, and now Krishna is telling him. What is he telling him? That if Arjun gives various reasons, right, of not fighting the battle, and one of them is ki I will just leave this battlefield. I don't want to kill people. I will just leave this battlefield. ऐसे ही मैं युद्ध भूमि छोड़ के मैं चले जाऊंगा. So now what is Krishna trying to tell him? Krishna is trying to tell him now, your enemies, if you leave the battlefield and run away, it's not that your enemies are going to praise कि क्या अच्छा आदमी है, छोड़ के चले गया. ऐसा nobody is going to say. They are going to talk to you like a coward, है ना, कि they will speak ill words about you. That is what Krishna is telling Arjun. At this stage, Krishna is not giving Arjun the topmost ज्ञान. अर्जुन जो भगवान बोलते हो करना चाहिए, मैं ही भगवान हूँ, कर दे. No, he is trying to tell him at the material level. He is still at the material level. अरे रणभूमि छोड़ के थोड़ी भागते हैं. Fight. So what? So the Sankhya philosophy has happened till now. The various features of the soul has been described, and now Krishna is attacking the compassion vritti जो है अर्जुन में. That is what Krishna is trying to tell Arjun कि अभी compassion छोड़ दे. Why don't you just, these people are not going to give you any medal. So they will talk bad words about you, and what could be more painful for you? क्षत्रिय के लिए तो पेनफुल होगा ही ना, गिव पीपल कॉल्ड कि अरे भाग गया, गीदड़ है, गीदड़ की तरह भाग गया ऐसे. सो ही इज सेइंग नॉन आर्यन करके डिस्क्राइब हो रहा है. ऑलराइट, नेक्स्ट लेट्स मूव टू द नेक्स्ट वन. हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गम. हतो वा प्राप्स्यसि स्वर्गम. जित्वा वा भोक्ष्यसे महीम्. तस्मात् उत्तिष्ठ कौन्तेय युद्धाय कृतनिश्चयः. Somebody may read the translation. Mataji, give to the next translation.
O son of Kunti, either you will be killed on the battlefield and attain the heavenly planets, or you will conquer and enjoy the earthly kingdom. Therefore, get up with determination and fight.
Yes, and Mataji, please read the purport also.
Even though there was no certainty of victory for Arjuna's side, he still had to fight. For even being killed there, he could be elevated into the heavenly planets.
Yes. So now here Krishna is now going beyond compassion. पहले तो compassion के वजह से उसको बोल दिया कि भाई you don't try and run away from this battlefield because people will call you different names. Now he is saying, why don't you continue to fight? And it is okay even if you are killed. What will you get? Now Krishna is giving him different kind of a carrot. अरे मर भी गया तो what? स्वर्ग मिलेगा. What it is said here? You will attain heavenly planets. So there will two things that will happen if somebody fights in a battlefield. One is he wins. If he wins, he is saying you will enjoy the earthly kingdom. And if you die fighting in the battlefield, you will enjoy the heavenly kingdom. दोनों इसमें फायदा है. That is what Krishna is. दोनों इसमें फायदा है, क्या भागने का फिर? And this is still happening at the material platform, कर्म कांड प्लेटफॉर्म, कर्म योगा प्लेटफॉर्म कि अपना ड्यूटी करना. डू योर ड्यूटी. यू आर अ क्षत्रिय, डू योर ड्यूटी, फाइट इन द बैटल. देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ योगा. देयर इज अ कर्म योगा, देयर इज अ ज्ञान योगा, एंड देन देयर इज भक्ति योगा. राइट नाउ कर्म योगा इज हैपनिंग. जस्ट डू योर ड्यूटी, फाइट इन द बैटल. So why do so here it is said heavenly kingdom मिलेगा. Do we want as devotees? Do devotees aspire for heavenly kingdom?
No.
Why no?
Because then you have to come back again after a particular time.
Yes, because heavenly kingdom the enjoyment is limited once your credit card gets over. No, once your debit card. Heavenly kingdom means debit card, है ना? Heavenly kingdom is debit card. There is already preloaded amount. You go there and then as you enjoy, the amount gets debited every day. Then eventually when it is about to come zero, then what will happen? Tata bye bye. वापस भर के आना फिर. So then again they will have to come back to the earthly kingdom. So that is the problem with heavenly kingdom. But here in this case, Kshatriyas are guaranteed heaven. It is because it is given in the scripture. So anybody who is fighting in the battlefield, even in today's world, and if he gets killed in the battlefield, if a Indian soldier gets killed in the battlefield, or any soldier for that matter, then they will get heavenly kingdom if they die fighting for their country. Now this is, I'm not taking any questions on this. Okay, many questions will come. What about the jihadis, this and that, and we just keep them aside. Okay, but this is what is a truly bad. Even few years back, maybe around 100 years back, or little actually around 200 years back, these Maharanas or these Rajputs, one of the Rajput king, he came back from the battlefield. There was a war between two kings, and he came back along with some of his army back, and one of the Guptachars, one of the messengers, gave the message to the queen that your husband is back, but he has a wound on the back, उसको पीछे लगा है. Then the queen says, दरवाजा खोलना नहीं किले का, बंद करो, don't let him inside. रण छोड़ के भागा है वो, तभी उसको पीछे से वार हुआ है. एंड शी सेंड्स अ मैसेज टू द किंग दैट जाके उधर मरो, इधर ऐसा वापस नहीं आने का, रण छोड़ के भाग के नहीं आने का, या तो जीतो या तो उधर ही मरो. बिकॉज द क्वींस एट द टाइम, एवरीबडी हैड दिस नॉलेज that even if you die, you will get a heavenly kingdom. But if you run from this battlefield, तो सब चीतो करेंगे लोग, है ना? राज्य में क्या नाम मुंह दिखाएंगे? हाँ, फिर ऐसा जीना तो उससे अच्छा मर जाना ही अच्छा है. So she sent him back, and it is said that Rajput king then he goes back with renewed vigor, renewed determination. He fights the battle, he wins, and he comes back. So that is the power of knowledge. That is the power of knowledge. That we know where to die, and if we die in the battlefield, guaranteed. Okay, all right. So yes, heavenly kingdoms. Let me see if in my notes we have any other points that I can see. So yeah, it is a duty of Kshatriya to protect citizens from all difficulties, to apply violence for law and order, to conquer inimical kings, to rule the world according to religious principles. And Kshatriyas are never meant for directly accepting the order of sannyas. Non-violence in politics may be diplomacy, but it is never a factor or principle. So, and training of a Kshatriya, they are trained for challenging and killing because religious violence is a necessary factor according to our Shastra. Religious violence is a necessary factor. So yes, so as Arjun was a Kshatriya, and hence now Lord Krishna tells him, अरे battle में जाके मर जा, कोई problem नहीं, या तो जीत जा, दोनों ही केस में you are going to enjoy. Any questions so far? Next major. All right. 2.38. सुख दुखे समे कृत्वा लाभ लाभौ जया जयौ ततो युद्धाय युज्यस्व नैवं पापम अवाप्यसि. Yes, somebody please read the translation. Next person.
Do thou fight for the sake of fighting without considering happiness or distress, loss or gain, victory or defeat, and by so doing you shall never incur sin.
Please read the purport also.
Lord Krishna now directly says that Arjuna should fight for the sake of fighting because he desires the battle. There is no consideration of happiness or distress, profit or loss, victory or defeat in the activities of Krishna consciousness. That everything should be performed for the sake of Krishna in his transcendental consciousness. So there is no reaction to material activities. He who acts for his own sense gratification, either in goodness or in passion, is subject to the reaction, good or bad. But he who has completely surrendered himself in activities of Krishna consciousness is no longer obliged to anyone, nor is he a debtor to anyone, as one is in the ordinary course of activities.
Okay, just stop there. Yes. So in the previous verse, Lord Krishna was telling Arjun about happiness. You fight, kar de war, and then you can enjoy either the heavenly kingdom or the earthly kingdom. Both cases, you are in a win-win situation. Now, Lord Krishna is taking him a step above. Forget your happiness and sorrow. Just do it for me. What is he saying? Srila Prabhupada is saying, Lord Krishna now directly says Arjun should fight for the sake of fighting because he desires the battle. There is no consideration of happiness or distress, profit or loss. So he is saying now forget happiness, forget everything, forget what you feel. Now do it because it is your duty. Okay. And then Srila Prabhupada goes ahead and tells that everybody's duty is to work for Krishna. Srila Prabhupada will always dovetail any karma yoga towards bhakti yoga. Even karma yoga, Srila Prabhupada will stress on the importance of bhakti yoga. As compared to any other books of Bhagavad Gita versions you will find outside. Because outside people, what do they say? Karma yoga, kar bhala ho bhala. हम कर्मयोगी, हम अच्छा करने में बिलीव करते हैं. अच्छा करके अच्छा होता है? You tell me. And then we have taken the example of Maharaj King Nriga, है ना? Some time back we took the example of King Nriga. He was also in this कर्मकांडी process. कर भला हो भला, उसका भला नहीं हुआ, चिपकली बन गया, became a lizard. Because while doing the good activities, unknowingly bad things may happen. So there is nothing wrong in doing good activities, but if we keep Krishna at the center, then everything becomes good automatically, even if the outcome is not good. Then Krishna takes care of us. So, but here at this stage, Arjun has been directed that you now fight not because you feel bad or you feel compassionate. Fight because it is your duty, man. You are a Kshatriya. You have to fight. अभी करना ही पड़ेगा तुझे, हाँ? And because if you do your duty, then you will never incur sin. Now he is telling everybody has their duty. And earlier when the Varnashram system was there, the duties were very clear. Varna and Ashram. What are the four Varnas? Brahman topmost, then second Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Brahmanas are the topmost because they have all the knowledge of the Shastras. Based on their knowledge, they will guide the Kshatriyas. Kshatriyas are the ruling category, the ruling kings. And they will rule the kingdom and ensure law and order under the instructions of the Shastras through Brahmanas. So all Kshatriyas, all kings will have a advisory board of Brahmanas. There will be advisory committee full of Brahmanas who will guide the king on what to do and what not to do. And the Brahmanas were so powerful that if the king disobeys, then they will also have various ways to install a new king on the kingdom. The Brahmanas are very powerful. So Brahmanas, Kshatriya, then is the Vaishya community, which is the business community, because Kshatriya will need money. Where will they get the money from? So the Vaishyas will give them tax and they will run the show for the entire kingdom. Kshatriyas will rule, but they will need money. So the Vaishyas will give money. And then the Shudras, somebody has to be servant class. Somebody has to do all the work. Who is going to do? The Shudra category. Shudras basically work for others. Let me know if you find a Shudra in this house. Shudras are those who work for others. They can't say to the boss, I am not coming today. They have to go every day morning, I am here, whether I feel good or not. Okay? Alright. So these are the Varnas, and the Ashrams are? Ashram starts with, Brahmachari Ashram, then Grihastha, which most of us are Grihasthas here, and then Vanaprastha, and then the Sannyas Ashram. So Varna and Ashram was there. And so in the ashram category, the grihasthas will look after all the remaining three, because the grihasthas are the one who are allowed to earn and allowed to do various things, and hence they will look after the other three. And hence when a grihastha is eating and somebody comes to their house knocking and he asks for food, then it is a grihastha's duty that he gives. सबको खाना खिला के फिर खाएगा. Earlier there was a time when people, before they used to eat, they used to call out घर से बाहर निकल के पहले कि कोई है जिसको खाना है, मैं खाने बैठने वाला हूँ, अभी कोई है जिसको खाना है तो अभी आ जाओ. हाँ, then and if somebody comes, then he will have to give him. So that was the rule. What a fantastic way of, what a consciousness, Jabardast consciousness. All right. So that is how it is. Huh? Vanaprastha maybe the husband and wife can go together in one. So in case of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, then after the war was over, then Vidura came and Vidura explained to them that you should now consider devoting the rest of your life towards spirituality. And that's when Dhritarashtra and Gandhari, they both left towards the Vanaprastha. means leave active duties. So if you are a king, then you would install your son on the throne and then you will leave towards the forest. Sannyas is an ashram where you don't have any relations, no husband, wife, no mama, papa, nothing. A sannyasi will never go back to his home. Complete cut off, full cut off. Complete detachment from every single relation and even every single object around. At the time, in the earlier times, the sannyasis used to move around. Obviously, they will not have a house. They will also not cook for them, so they will go begging around, right? I say. So sannyasis is a completely very higher class of the ashrams, if you like, fully detached and completely dedicated to the Lord. Completely dedicated.
Premanand Maharaj, he is like in sannyasi.
Yeah, he's a sannyasi, 100%. Because nowadays in Kali Yuga, where will they find the forest to move around? So that is not there, na? So yeah. So in the modern world, sannyasis will have to stay this way in detachment. So even he is there, he is just wearing some yellow cloth. You don't see any other things, Otherwise, we will have a watch, this, that, so many things we will have. So even in ISKCON, we have various sannyasis. It is not easy to get a sannyas qualification in ISKCON. Many people have to wait for many years. They have to do a lot of preaching. They have to prove themselves that yes, they are completely detached. In the previous times, the sannyasis would not even stay under a tree for more than 2 to 3 days because the attachment will happen with the tree. ये झाड़ बहुत अच्छा है, बहुत अच्छा शेड मिल रहा है ना? इधर नीचे बैठने का अच्छे से साधन है. So they will not even wait under a tree. They will move around. So that's the difference between a vanaprastha and a sannyas. Okay. Generally in vanaprastha, when one of the out of the couple, when one of the partner dies, then the other partner is eligible to go for sannyas. Then you can take sannyas aise karke. So yeah, sannyas is complete, no relationship. Okay. And no house, no cooking, just relying on others to do it. Okay. All right. So here it is said, one who acts for his own sense gratification, either in goodness or in passion, is subject to reaction, good or bad. So we are studying Ishopanishad now, and in mantra number 2, we are studying the various laws of karma, and one of this is. So even here that thing is applicable. One who acts for his own sense gratification. Even if you are doing something good, but it is for your own sake. The Lord is not in the center of that activity. Okay. Let's say you are making something very nice. You are making a vegetable paneer biryani. And your thought process is कि I have guests coming and things that first class party करेंगे आज बहुत मजा करेंगे. So you have done everything. Now it is in goodness. You are in mode of goodness. You want to feed people. People want to come, and you are enjoying in your house in a nice way, in a proper way. Nothing wrong, nothing illicit or nothing non-veg or anything, and you watch a movie and things like that. Perfect, nice. That is in the mode of goodness. So it is for your own sense gratification. ना भोग लगाए भगवान को. भगवान इसके एक्टिविटी के बीच में ही नहीं है कहीं पे. भगवान को एक रूम में रखा था, वो रूम को बंद कर दिया, लोग आने वाले तो ठीक है अंदर है, कोई बात नहीं, समझ लेंगे आज भगवान पे तो चर्चा होगी, भगवान है भी हाँ नहीं तो so आई एम जस्ट गिविंग एन एग्जांपल. सो दैट इज so then you will get a reaction for it ऐसे. But the same activity, same process, okay, very defined. We call people for prasad. अच्छा आप लोग शाम को आएंगे, 2 दिन के बाद आप बुला रहे किसी को, अपना घर में अपन प्रोग्राम करेंगे, कीर्तन है, थोड़ा कुछ है, तो आप आओ ऐसा. And now you will think, okay, as a gृहिणी you will think what all you need to cook, but somewhere you will have Krishna in the mind. It is not going to happen in a day. डायरेक्ट ऐसा नहीं होएगा कि अचानक सब कृष्णा के लिए हो रहा है. बट यू हैव टू समवेयर स्टार्ट, देन इन योर माइंड देन यू विल से ओके I have to prepare this, but I also have to offer that bhoga to the Lord. So that is the starting process. कि हाँ भाई कि अभी मैं मेरे लिए नहीं करूँ, भगवान को लेके आया बीच में, चाहे ज़बरदस्ती हो, ठीक है, पता है हमको ही खाना है पनीर बिरयानी बट फिर भी भगवान को लेके आना पड़ेगा बीच में, अदरवाइज कब स्टार्ट होगा? So somewhere you will have to introduce the Lord and say, okay, I'm calling these friends, Lord, may they like this prasad after you have taken it, ऐसा करके. So now when you are cooking for, because this has to be offered to the Lord, पहले आप क्या करते थे? किसी को बुलाना है तो बार बार टेस्ट करके बीच में चख के लिया, चलो नमक डालो, ये डालो, सब करके उसको परफेक्ट बनाया आने के बाद फुल मार्क्स, सब लोग ने, ऑल द गेस्ट विल लाइक इट. बट नाउ व्हाट यू आर डूइंग, यू आर नॉट टेस्टिंग इट, यू कांट टेस्ट बिकॉज इट हैज टू बी ऑफर्ड टू द लॉर्ड. सो आफ्टर द लॉर्ड हैज टेस्टेड इट, देन यू विल ट्राई एंड मेक सम एडजस्टमेंट्स, right? So that is the change, same activity. Okay, all right. So when we take birth in this world, we are all under 5 or 6 different types of debts by default. हमारे ऊपर कर्जा पड़ जाता है, ठीक है, बाय डिफॉल्ट, चाहे लोन लिया हो कि नहीं लिया हो, कर्जा चालू है. इवन नाउ इट इज ऑन फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस द मोमेंट टू टेक बर्थ. And so the Lord is now going to, Srila Prabhupada is now going to explain here in his purport that what are those different types of karja. Okay, so it is given here, Devarishi Bhutapta Niranam Pitranam Na Kinkaro Nayam Rinicha Rajan Sarvatmanaha Ya Sharanam Sharanyam Gato Mukundam Parihartya Kartam. All right, somebody please read this purport. Who has the mic?
Anyone who has completely surrendered unto Krishna, Mukunda, giving up all other duties, is no longer a debtor, nor is he obliged to anyone, not the demigods, nor the sages, nor the people in general, nor kinmen or no humanity, nor forefathers. That is the indirect hint given by Krishna to Arjuna in the verse, and the matter will be more clearly explained in the following verses.
So everybody of us has a duty, and as part of the duty we must do yajna all the time. Okay, so now Krishna is telling Arjuna it's your duty to fight in the battle, and also Prabhupada is taking that opportunity to also explain us that even we have duties, all of us have these debts. So let us see these debts. Demigod, है ना, अरे ऊपर जा, देवऋषि मतलब डेमीगॉड्स. भूतापा इज देवऋषि, so demigods, sages. Okay, demigod, sages, and Bhutapa is the people in general, and Naranam is the kingsman, humanity, and forefathers. Last में Pitranam, forefathers. So there are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of debts here. So debts towards the forefathers, what do? We do Pindadan. And then for the Devatas, we have to do Yajna, we have to offer sacrifice, we have to remember, because what are the Devatas doing for us? ये हवा चल रहा है, वायु देव है, सूर्य देव रोशनी दे रहा है, moon god is giving the specialized light by which vegetables are growing. So many demigods. Agni Dev is giving fire, Varun Dev is there, Indra Dev is there for the rains and things like that. So free का air ले रहे हैं ना, so then you have to give the debt. ऐसे. And then there are others. For now, sages. What are the sages doing for us? The sages are giving us the scriptures, they are giving us the knowledge, and people in general. There are so many people that are helping us around. Even in this class today, so many people have worked since morning in the background. So ऋण तो आ गया उनका, and kinsmen and humanity generally. So even there are so many other living entities that we are indebted to. Even the milk that we are going to drink, let's say if they make some kheer today, then we are indebted to the cow. ऐसे. All right. But what is Srila Prabhupada saying here? But one who is completely surrendered himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness. So what is the process of surrender? The process of surrender is not stopping work and say अब से मैं कुछ काम नहीं करूँगा, सब कुछ बंद, ऐसा नहीं. हमें जो करना है करते रहना है, बट कृष्णा को बीच में रख के करना है. Then if you are completely, and Prabhupada is very choosy in his words, one who has completely surrendered himself in the activities of Krishna consciousness is no longer obliged to anyone, nor is he a debtor to anyone. कोई भी ऑब्लिगेशन नहीं और कोई डेट नहीं, आपका डेट जीरो. ओके, सो एंड हु सेज गतो मुकुंदम परिहरते करतम. सो मुकुंदम इज Krishna, Lord Krishna, the one who has dedicated himself, surrendered himself to Lord Krishna, then he is free of debt. But otherwise, everybody has duties. But as a grihastha, we have this duty of yajna, dan and tapa. These three duties will remain forever. There will be never a stage where you will say, Acha, I am completely surrendered to the Lord now. So thank you, Lord, for making my debt zero. As that stage, it ideally will never come. So yajna, dan, tapa. Dan means क्या है? Charity. So as grihasthas or even otherwise too, we have to do charity all the time, which all of you are doing. We are doing so many activities in the background. So charity. So dan, tapa. Tapa is tapasya क्या है? Penance. What is penance in our case? Yeah. Correct. Penance is our Krishna consciousness activities. Everything that we do is for Krishna. Our yajna is also same. Everything that we do is for Krishna. Yajna means not necessarily a yajna with a havan kunda and say Om Swaha. Yeah. Our yajna is we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and offer it to the Lord. Yajna Purush is none other than Krishna. So our ahuti in that yajna is not ghee and the sandalwood and other things. It is our chanting process. It is our prayers to the Lord. Okay. So yajna, dan, tapa, these three things must always be done by everybody. Okay. No matter what. So that is the thing. All right. Okay. Any questions on this one? 38. We'll move to the next one. 39. So I will recite this on my own. Eshate bihita sankhya buddhir yogveta imam shrinu buddhaya yukto yaya partha karma bandham prahasyasi. Translation. Please somebody read the translation.
Thus far I have described this knowledge to you through analytical study. Now listen as I explain it in terms of working without fruitive results. O son of Buddha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of work.
When you act in such knowledge, what is the knowledge? Working without fruitive results. You can free yourself from the bondage of the work. Okay, let us read the, okay, that's a big purport. Okay, so you read one paragraph, whoever is reading, and then the next person can read the next paragraph. Yes, please.
According to the Nirukti Vedic dictionary, Sankhya means that which describes things in detail, and Sankhya refers to that philosophy which describes the real nature of the soul, and yoga involves controlling the senses. Arjuna's proposal not to fight was based on sense gratification. Forgetting his prime duty, he wanted to cease fighting because he thought that by not killing his relatives and kinsmen, he would be happier than by enjoying the kingdom after conquering his cousins, the sons of
Mataji, thoda loudly, can we be little loud, please? Yeah, continue.
In both ways, the basic principles were for sense gratification. Happiness derived from conquering them and happiness derived by seeing kinsmen alive are both on basis of personal sense gratification, even at the sacrifice of wisdom and duty. Krishna therefore wanted to explain to Arjuna that by killing the body of his grandfather, he would not be killing the soul proper, and he explained that all individual persons, including the Lord himself, are eternal individuals. They were individuals in the past, they are individuals in the present, and they will be continue to remain individuals in the future, because all of us are individual souls eternally. We simply change our bodily dress in different manners, but actually we keep our individuality even after liberation from the bondage of material dress. An analytical study of the soul and the body has been very graphically explained by Lord Krishna.
Okay, Mataji, I will just take a pause here. And any points from what we have read so far? Anybody wants to? Any key points? That is how we do it in the morning session also. Any key point? कोई भी एक ऐसा? What have you learned so far in the purpose? Huh?
Differentiation between body and soul.
So differentiation between body and soul. Yes. और
वो इंसान को मरने से आत्मा को कुछ नहीं होगा, आत्मा अमर है, वो कल भी थी, आज भी है, फिर भी।
Yes, very correct. Good point. So we were there in the past, we are currently there, and we will also be there in the future. By we means the soul. But the body will cease to exist. So we have covered all these points earlier also, the difference between soul and the body, and Prabhupada is again giving this. So because what it is here, Buddhir Yoge. So now from this section, Buddhi Yoga will start, okay? Buddhi Yoga. So till now, the Lord is talking to Arjuna and telling him about the qualities of the soul, and it is an analytical study of the matter and the spirit. Now he's saying, as I explained in terms of working without fruitive results. Every time we work, we expect some result, ना? मैं काम करूँगा तो मुझे recognition मिलेगा, है ना? We expect something out of every work that we do. But now from here on, Lord is going to explain that you work, but without the expectation of any result, without the expectation of fruitive results. Okay. O son of Pritha, when you act in such knowledge, you can free yourself from the bondage of the work. So if we do this, even in our day-to-day activities, then we will be free from all reactions, and that is what we want. Because here Prabhupada says that after this we will continue to remain eternal individuals, and the body is kahan gaya? A body is just a dress, we simply change our bodily dress in different manners, but actually we keep our individuality. So when we leave this body and we go on to the next body, what will come along with us? Nahi, we are the soul, re Baba. My soul got hurt. How do you feel when you hear this statement? Arey, my soul ni. I am the soul. You are the soul. You are the soul. We are the soul. But because we are identifying with this particular body, hence we think we are the body. So मेरा आत्मा hurt हो गया. ऐसा नहीं, मैं ही hurt हो गया, मैं ही आत्मा हूँ, है ना? So we have to, so what happens at the time of death? The soul transmigrates from one body to another, but what happens along with it? What goes along with it into the new body? Man, buddhi, ahankar. Yeah, Baba, correct. Yes, Dada, man, buddhi, ahankar. So till the time we keep on doing activities due to which we will get positive or negative reactions, then that man, buddhi, ahankar will always be there. That material body, that subtle body will always be there, and it will keep on traveling with us everywhere. Our idea is to nullify everything in this particular life only. Alright, let us continue. Where did we stop? Let's read from here. Mataji, give to the somebody else now. Have you read? Okay. Poonam, Mataji will read.
An analytical study of the soul and the body has been very graphically explained by Lord Krishna. And this descriptive knowledge of the soul and the body from different angles of vision has been described here as Sakya in terms of the Nifty dictionary. This Sankhya has nothing to do with the Sankhya philosophy of the atheist Kapila. Long before the impostor Kapila Sakya, the Sankhya philosophy was expounded in the Srimad Bhagavatam by the true Lord Kapila and the incarnation of Lord Krishna, who explained it to his mother Deva.
Alright, we'll just take a pause. Prabhupada is clarifying there are two Kapilas in the history here, and there is one Lord Kapila who has explained the Sankhya philosophy in Srimad Bhagavatam, and he is telling this to his mother Devavati. But there was also an impostor Kapila who wanted to, who challenged the Lord and who wanted himself to be, who behaved like the Lord. So Srila Prabhupada is clarifying, don't confuse that other Kapila. He is an atheist. Okay. Alright, let's continue.
It is clearly explained by him that the Purusha or the Supreme Lord is active and that he creates by looking over the Prakriti. This is accepted in the Vedas and in the Gita.
Yes. So long time back in one of our classes, we understood how this material world is created, the different types of Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, Shirodakshaya Vishnu, and when the Lord in the form as Vishnu, he glances on the material nature, then he impregnates it with the energy, time, so many other factors. So that is what Prabhupada is explaining here, that he creates by looking over the Prakriti. The Prakriti is mother nature. This is accepted in Vedas and Gita. Yes, Mataji, just continue.
The description in the Vedas indicates that the Lord glanced over the Prakriti on nature and impregnated it with atomic individual souls. All these individuals are working in the material world for sense gratification, and under the spell of material energy, they are thinking of being enjoyers.
So Srila Prabhupada very nicely explains, all of the individuals are trapped in this material world, thinking themselves to be enjoyer and working day and night very hard for this. We are all trapped. हम फंस गए हैं. आगे बढ़ो.
This mentality is dragged to the last point of liberation when the living entity wants to become one with the Lord. This is the last layer of Maya or sense gratificatory illusion, and it is only after many births of such senses gratificatory activities that a great soul surrenders unto Vasudeva, Lord Krishna, thereby fulfilling the search after the ultimate truth.
Thank you, Mataji. You keep on holding. I would like you to continue to read because I like the pace that is going on. Hang on. So the important point here is Srila Prabhupada's purports are so powerful. Ideally, everybody of us should read 10 minutes every single day. It will purify your life. We have to read Srila Prabhupada's books, okay? But the good part is we are reading together, even though it is weekly session. But yeah, I think others should also join, all the adults should also join the 6:30 to 7 session on a listen only mode, okay? So Srila Prabhupada says here, this mentality is dragged to the last point of liberation when the living entity wants to become one with the Lord. It is only after many births of such sense gratificatory activities that a great soul surrenders unto Vasudeva, thereby fulfilling the search of ultimate. In our case, I think we may have gone through, obviously we have gone through many births, but many births of doing what? Spirituality mein kya? Maybe we may have been impersonalists, then we became personalists, then we may have become demigod worshippers, then even in demigod the Shakti Tattva is there, because now there are so many other people who believe in the Shakti Tattva. Nothing wrong with that. देन इट्स अ प्रोग्रेस. धीरे धीरे माँ अम्बे से लेके माँ जगत तारिणी से लेके नवरात्रि का उपास कितने कितने जन्मों तक करके फिर धीरे धीरे बंदा एकादशी पे आता है. कभी एकादशी इज ओनली फॉर लॉर्ड कृष्णा. एकादशी तो कोई माँ जगदम्बे के लिए नहीं होती, माँ दुर्गा के लिए नहीं होती. कभी सुना शिव जी के लिए एकादशी होती? नहीं होती. एकादशी इज ओनली फॉर द लॉर्ड. सो ये शिला प्रभुपाद से ऐसे अनेक जन्म जन्म तक करते करते एक जन्म आता है जिसमें लॉर्ड मुकुंद के सामने, वासुदेव के सामने बंदा हाथ टेक देता है कि बहुत हो गया, अभी मुझे, आप ही मुझे यहाँ से निकाल सकते हो. बिकॉज ही हैज़ ट्राइड एंड डन एवरी सिंगल थिंग. So I think we all fall in that category because we are here today. And the fact that you are sitting here after 2 years of this continuous process, I think you believe in Mukunda that only this is going to give you further Maya. ऐसे.
Arjuna has already accepted Krishna as his spiritual master by surrendering himself unto him.
शिष्यस्तेहां साधि माम त्वां प्रपन्नम.
Consequently, Krishna will now tell him about the working progress in Buddhi Yoga or Karma Yoga, or in other words, the practice of devotional service only for the sense gratification of the Lord. This Buddhi Yoga is clearly explained in chapter 10, verse 10, as being direct communion with the Lord, who is sitting as Paramatma in everyone's heart.
All right, hold on. So now here Srila Prabhupada is saying the Buddhi Yoga or Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga is of 2 types, Sakam Karma and Nishkam Karma. So initially when somebody is new, we say okay, do Karma Yoga. अपना ड्यूटी करो. In this case Arjun's duty was to fight the war with a Sakam, with the expected result of either enjoying in this material world by ruling this material, this earthly planet, or if he dies then enjoying in the Swarga, heavenly planet. Sakam karma. करो ना, कुछ तो मिलेगा तुमको. Then one level up, saying काम करो but without any expectation. This is called निष्काम कर्म. निष्काम कर्म. कि do your duty but without any expectation. That is what we have to do. Nishkam karma. Everything that we do for our children, so many of you we are doing everything for our children, right? As Grihasthas, our life revolves around our children. True or false? True, isn't it? Everything is done for them. We want them to have the best education. This. But what is the expectation? That when the child grows up, he will take care of me. ये expectation है ना? अभी इसको बाजू में रखो. अब तुमको लगता है होने वाला है नहीं ना, वैसे ही नहीं मिलने वाला रिजल्ट. तो व्हाई नॉट डू निष्काम कर्म. डोंट हैव एनी एक्सपेक्टेशन. नो एक्सपेक्टेशंस. सो व्हाट विल हैपन इफ यू डोंट हैव एक्सपेक्टेशन. अगर हमारे को एक्सपेक्टेशन नहीं है कि मैंने मेरे बच्चे के लिए इतना किया इसलिए मेरा बच्चा अभी मेरे से सुनना ही चाहिए, मेरे को घर पूछ के ही घर से बाहर जाना चाहिए, और अगर नहीं करता है वो, तो फिर क्या होगा? हमें बुरा लगता है. बाहर वाले लोग कैसे बोले? हमारी आत्मा को ठेस पहुंचती है. So, but if we don't have expectation and let's say we are just doing it for duty sake, proper काम but without any expectation. क्योंकि I did a duty as a parent, my parents also did the duty ना, तो मैंने कौन सा ऐसा नया तीर मारा है? Everybody does it, right? So we can't just हम चढ़ा के नहीं बोलते हम अनोखे हैं, हमने बहुत ज़्यादा काम किए. नहीं भाई, सब करते हैं. Everybody does that for their kids. थोड़ा कम ज़्यादा होता है, that's all right. So no expectations. If you don't have expectation, your life will be sublime. But here, Nishkam karma and Sakam karma. Nishkam karma is working. If you ask Prabhupada's definition is Nishkam karma again is working for Krishna without any expectation. So it will start कि okay, when somebody comes new, okay, work for Krishna and expect कि चलो तुमको पनीर खाना है ना, पनीर बिरयानी, no problem. भोग लगा के खाना. तो पनीर बनाते बनाते ये सोच रहे हो कि मैंने खाना है इसको, बट कृष्णा को भी देना है. एग्जाम्पल ऑफ सकाम कर्म, नो प्रॉब्लम. It is still in line with the scriptures because somewhere you have included the Lord in your activity. Then slowly you use the saying ki this paneer is not that soft. I hope Krishna will like it. Abhi, you are completely dedicating the activity to the Lord. You are not itna enjoyment sense thoda kam. You have redirected your senses, and the senses get purified slowly. Ek din ka nahi hai process, na? It will get purified slowly. Okay. So this is where, so the Lord in the heart. Last में क्या बोला? The buddhi yoga is clearly explained chapter 10 verse 10 as being direct communion with the Lord who is sitting as Paramatma in everyone's heart. Acha, please continue.
But such communion does not take place without devotional service. One who is therefore situated in devotional or transcendental loving service to the Lord, or in other words, in Krishna consciousness, attains to the stage of buddhi yoga by the special grace of the Lord.
Hold on. So we need the Lord's grace. Prabhupada is very clear. Ki we need the Lord's blessing, and for Lord's blessing you only have to pray to the Lord and you only have to include Him in day-to-day activities of your Lord. Otherwise it is not possible. Prabhupada here very clearly says. By special grace of the Lord. And the Lord gives this special grace through His special devotee, through His Guru. So Guru ki jab bhi कृपा हो जावे, सब line clear. Then you will become free in your mind. Currently there are so many blockages in our mind. Krishna is there, we are here, we understand that the goal of our life is to surrender to the Lord, but still there are too many things, too many blockages in our day-to-day activities in our mind that prevents us from doing it. And to overcome that, you have to continue practicing the process of Krishna consciousness, and then when you get associated with a pure devotee of the Lord, then that grace will flow through that pure devotee, or Krishna also. Okay. Alright, let's continue, please.
The Lord says, therefore, that only to those who are always engaged in devotional service out of transcendental love does He award the pure knowledge of devotion and love. In that way, the devotee can reach Him easily in the ever blissful kingdom of God.
Alright, here Prabhupada says, the Lord, therefore, only to those who are always engaged in devotional service, always engaged, bole, out of transcendental love, He awards the pure knowledge of devotion in love. He awards. So when Sudama went to Krishna with that poha, and the Lord is asking, क्या चाहिए बोलना, क्या क्या चाहिए बोलना, सुदामा ने कुछ नहीं, मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए. Because transcendental love, once the Lord awards, then the Lord becomes a servant of that devotee. That's why it is said, Prabhupada says awards. He doesn't give it easily. He said, if you want something, take it and leave me. मेरा जो debt है वो खत्म कर दो, है ना? So this is very, very important. So what it says, who is always engaged in devotional service. And how do we get always engaged in devotional service? The first step is to do japa every day. उसके बिना नहीं होगा, उसके बिना नहीं होगा. And japa happens only in the morning. Finish. बाद में दिन भर में करेंगे जपा, उसका वो जपा नहीं है. You are just trying to finish your rounds. हाँ, मॉर्निंग में, ड्यूरिंग मॉर्निंग द राउंड्स आर राउंड, लेटर ऑन इट बिकम्स अ हेक्सागन, ट्रेपेजॉन, अलग अलग शेप हो जाता है. राउंड राउंड नहीं रहता है. रात रात तक तो अनेक उसके एंगल बन जाते हैं. जपा और डिवोशनल सर्विस is primarily done in the morning. Devotional service obviously can be done throughout the day, let me correct. But what I am saying is, जो real भक्ति है ना, वो सुबह होती है, बाद में नहीं, सूरज चढ़ने के बाद नहीं. So those who are serious, you have to join the 4 AM club. Forget this spirituality. You go outside and you join some entrepreneur course, or some pep talk course where they will tell you, I will change your life in 10 days. They will not talk anything about Lord, but they will all tell you, all these successful people and motivators, they will tell you, you must get up early. You have to join the 4 AM club. 4 बजे उठना है मतलब उठना ही है, चाहे कभी भी सो. There is a permanent alarm on the phone that it has to ring 4 a.m. By 4:30 you must have finished everything and you must sit for japa. 4:30 to 6:30 bina hile dule japa. That's it. When you have that kind of discipline in your life and when you do that kind of sadhana for minimum 6 months, then you see how things will change. This is the minimum standard I am telling. Minimum standard. I know so many people who have gone from here to Vrindavan to stay. Not everybody can do that, and not everybody is qualified, and obviously not I am suggesting that everybody should do that, but because they were very serious here, everybody used to attend Mangala Arati or do certain things, Tulsi Puja, this Puja, that Puja. Now when they have gone to Vrindavan, every single day Mangala Arati, every single day. And Vrindavan, the temperature is very, very unique. Morning is very cold, and during the day very, very hot, 45, 46 degrees. But every single day, those serious practitioners, Mangala Arati अटेंड होने के बाद इमीडिएट परिक्रमा, वृंदावन का परिक्रमा. Some people do daily परिक्रमा वृंदावन, and on the weekends Govardhan परिक्रमा. And then obviously some Babajis are there who are not Grihasthas, they do 3 परिक्रमाs in a day. That's the continuous भगवान कृष्ण को संपूर्ण समर्पण. We can't do that obviously, but by staying in our house, if we aren't able to get up at 4 o'clock and if we aren't able to chant daily, then you are not making the most of it. अच्छे स्टूडेंट हो, बट वो धीरे धीरे प्रोग्रेस होगा, धीरे धीरे होगा. So we have to join that club. And so many, if you look at Ojas Prabhu's japa session, 15-20 लोग सुबह 4:30 बजे. That is why I said keep the video on. That way you will see, आप लोग सब देखोगे कि क्या है. उनको काम धंधा नहीं है, ये उनके बच्चे नहीं है, उनको ऑफिस में कोई वो नहीं है. They are actually all those who are in 16 rounds पे है ना, सुबह मॉर्निंग वाले, they are top performers in office. Many of them lead a 150-200 member team globally. I know personally many of them. Project leaders, because top performers है. सुबह उठने के बाद mind also becomes very sharp, and the Lord also guides you from within. Everybody has duties, everybody has responsibilities, every single person in this room has a loan to give. Loan मतलब I'm not talking about the spiritual debtors, I am talking about अपना home loan सबका है, गाड़ी का लोन है, सबको पैसा कमाना है. But there is a difference between the 4 a.m. club people and the rest of the people. Rest of the people क्या होगा, लाइफ ऐसे ही जाएगी. थोड़ा थोड़ा कर रहे हैं ना कृष्णा का, तो होते रहेगा. हाँ, फिर रेडी रहो. रेडी किसके लिए रहो? That there will be upsets in your life, and because you are not strong spiritually, जो कर रहे हो वो भी stop हो जाएगा. Let's say you are doing 3-4 rounds for now, but when calamity strikes, because your faith is not strong, you don't have association of devotees. You did not, rather you had the association, but you chose not to be in the association, hence you don't have good devotee contacts. So then you are suddenly all alone trying to fight this material world on your own, and it's very, very difficult. Dukhalayam ashashvatam. That's how this material world is described. So as devotees, we need to be very, very alert. We need to support each other. We need to tell each other, okay, as a group, we will meet once or twice a week. Our children will come and they'll perform kirtan. You have to give that platform to the children. ना, नहीं तो डांस क्लास जाएंगे, तुम लोग शॉपिंग में जाओगे सैटरडे को, यार इसमें घूमने को मॉल में 2 घंटा ऐसे ही घूम के आओगे, है ना. Before joining Krishna consciousness, I used to stay in Lellore, and then this is a Pink Plaza. That was my pastime. Saturday around 2 o'clock, go to a Pink Plaza, घूमने का, जबरदस्ती का shopping. And then eat in one of the food courts, then come back home, watch TV, Majani life. Eh? So yeah, now Krishna conscious life is very different, and I thought I have unnecessarily wasted a long time. And by the Lord's grace, the distance between Epping and the Lord's temple in Albert Park reduced, and we are there. Devotees' grace. So yes, things will happen. So join the 4 a.m. club. Harish Prabhu, you are not here. I think this Sunday morning we are meeting for Japa session. Ashish Prabhu has given discount. 6 o'clock we can start, he said. So we will start 6 o'clock. I was thinking 3:30, 3:45, but I did not ask. But at least I have to tell my mind. Hence I am revealing it to you. You don't tell to others. Okay, we will start at 6 o'clock. Ekadashi. Alright, let's continue and finish this thing. Okay. Thus
the Buddhi Yoga mentioned in the verse is a devotional service of the Lord, and the word Sankhya mentioned herein has nothing to do with the atheistic Sankhya Yoga enunciated by the impostor Kapila. One should not therefore misunderstand.
ये हो गया है ना? Sorry. हाँ? Okay, alright, continue.
One should not therefore misunderstand the Sankhya Yoga mentioned herein has any connection with the atheistic Sankhya. Nor did that philosophy have any influence during that time, nor would Lord Krishna care to mention such thoughtless philosophical speculations.
Continue.
Real Sankhya philosophy is described by Lord Kapila in the Srimad Bhagavatam, but even that Sankhya has nothing to do with the current topics. Here, Sankhya means an analytical description of the body and the soul. Lord Krishna made an analytical description of the soul just to bring Arjuna to the point of Buddhi Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Therefore, Lord Krishna's Sankhya and Lord Kapila's Sankhya as described in the Bhagavatam are one and the same. They are all Bhakti Yoga. Lord Krishna said, therefore, that only the less intelligent class of men make a distinction between Sankhya Yoga and Bhakti Yoga.
Skip that and let's
Of course, Sankhya Yoga has nothing to do with Bhakti Yoga. Yet the unintelligent claim that the atheistic Sankhya Yoga is referred to in the Bhagavad Gita.
In the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Now can you give it to somebody else? Maybe here down, just pass. Shruti, you may read. Shruti. Yeah. One should therefore understand.
One should therefore understand that Buddhi Yoga means to work in Krishna consciousness, in full bliss and knowledge of devotional service. One who works for the satisfaction of the Lord only, however difficult such work may be, is working under the principles of Buddhi Yoga and finds himself always in transcendental bliss. By such transcendental engagement, one achieves all transcendental understanding automatically, by the grace of the Lord, and thus his liberation is complete in itself, without his making extraneous endeavors to acquire knowledge. There is much difference between work in Krishna consciousness and work for fruitive results, especially in the matter of sense gratification, for achieving results in terms of family or material happiness. Buddhi Yoga is therefore the transcendental quality of the work that we perform.
Yeah. So yes, with this we have completed 2.39. Srila Prabhupada again stresses on Buddhi Yoga, and he explains Buddhi Yoga means to work in Krishna consciousness in full bliss and knowledge of devotional service. When we say we are devotional, what does that mean? We are engaged in devotional service. When we say we have taken to spirituality, it means we are engaged in devotional service. And devotional service means ऐसे बैठ के meditation करना नहीं है. You are actively engaged in serving the Lord and His devotees. And one of the ways of serving the Lord, or one of the most important ways, is the process of chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. But that too you are very well alert. Okay, and Yeah, and then you are doing everything else. All the activities are done with Krishna in the center. And hence, when we mentioned that no, we want to conduct this class, so Vipan Prabhu immediately said, yeah, let's use my house. मेरे घर में करो. So now so whatever he is doing for his job, the salary that he is earning, it is invested in this house, and suddenly everything has become buddhi yoga or nishkam karma, or actually in this particular case he has devoted his house now, dedicated his house for the service of the Lord. So everything comes under Krishna consciousness, all the activities that he is doing, that Meenakshi is doing, Mataji, everything. So this house is fully utilized. Any questions related to today's topic? 4 AM क्लब ज्वाइन करेंगे सब लोग? मुश्किल है. You have to start slowly, but you have to make a start. I understand many people are working full day and it's very, very difficult. Actually, once you hit the bed, then minimum 7-8 hours sleep is required, right? So how do we cater for it? We sleep early. First thing is, put a timer on your phone. Facebook no more than 10 minutes, Instagram no more than 10 minutes, and the phone automatically doesn't allow you. आपको इस सेटिंग में जाके टाइमर डालना पड़ेगा, otherwise you will waste a lot of time. So even though if you hit the bed by 9, आप सोएंगे नहीं, आपका फ़ोन सोने नहीं देगा. फ़ोन सबसे बड़ा शत्रु है. अभी फ़ोन सबसे बड़ा शत्रु है. बहुत प्रॉब्लम है. बच्चों में नहीं, अडल्ट में भी बहुत बड़ा प्रॉब्लम है फ़ोन का. तो हेल्प योर सेल्फ, कीप द फोन अवे. उसके ऊपर टाइमर लगा दो और अपने आप को एक नया जन्म लेने से बचा लो. फिर एक नए गर्भ में जाना पड़ेगा, फिर ABCD सीखना पड़ेगा, एंड दैट टू विद द अजम्पशन की ह्यूमन बर्थ. ऑल राइट, वी विल स्टॉप हियर एंड यस, बोलो. हाई स्कूल किड्स का क्लास भी 8 o'clock हो रहा है. हाँ, सो सकते हैं ना. वो 8 बजे करके आके, जो भी 8 बजे क्लास को छूटता है क्या चालू होता है? 8:30 को शुरू होता है. कौन सा क्लास, कौन सा वाला बोल रहे क्लास? वे तो अभी 2 दिन पहले चालू हो गया. वो तो आधे घंटे का है ना. वो 8:30 to 9 and after that they sleep. That's it. Are you planning to have dinner after that? No. Dinner has finished by 6:30. That's what you have to change. तो क्या हो गया? तो perfect है. That is the best way actually. Before sleeping you have read about Krishna. If you are not joining the class, then ideally on your own you have to read. तो 8:30 to 9 किया है ना अभी, आधा घंटे का. तो परफेक्ट है. 9 बजे सो जाओ. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 7 घंटा दिया सोने को. 4 बजे उठने का है. 7 hours is a good sleep, because it is proven by science that the sleep between 9 to 12, that 3 hours of sleep is good enough like 6 hours. That gives very jabardast rest to your body. As compared to sleeping from 2 to 5, that is not a correct way of sleeping pattern. 9 to 12, that 3 hours of sleep is perfect. That is why पंछी सब चुपचाप बैठ जाते हैं ना बाहर. आपके घर के बाहर देखो ना, पेड़ पे पंछी का आवाज आता है क्या? Naturally they sleep by 7:30 retire. That is what nature is, and we just have to implement that. तो किचन बंद, 7:38 finish, like wind up. और अगर कोई लेट आ रहा है तो उसके लिए साइड में रख के कर दिया, एंड देन एवरीबडी, देन यू हैव टू मेक अ चेंज इन योर फैमिली. अदरवाइज नहीं होएगा. इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट अदरवाइज. तो एज आई सेड, 9 o'clock इफ यू आर स्लीपिंग, बाय 3 o'clock 6 hours, 7 hours. फिर से गिना तो 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, ये 6 में 3 हुआ है. 3 बजे मत उठो बाबा, 4 बजे उठो. 3, so 7 hours of sleep daily, and then somebody can take a power nap afternoon में 15 minutes power nap ले सकते हैं. Unless you are working in the fields, खेत में तो कोई हल नहीं जोत रहा है ना इधर, हमको जाके बैठ के ही करना है. तो 7.5 आवर ले लो, 4:30 उठ जाओ, और क्या. बट मंगला में when you get up and when you start doing things, it's a complete, that japa is of a completely different level man. करके तो देखो, 4 AM क्लब ज्वाइन करो और जन्माष्टमी तक करो. हाँ, टिल जन्माष्टमी. ओके, डन. ऑल राइट, लेट अस कॉल इट अ डे. शिला प्रभुपाद की जय. महाप्रसाद. नमः ब्राह्मणी वैष्णवे स्वल्प पुण्यवतम राजन विश्वासो नैव जायते शरीरा विद्याजाल जोड़ेन्द्रिय ताहे काल जीवे फैले विषय सागरे तारा मध्वाती लोभामय सुदुर्मती ताके चेता कठिन संसारे कृष्णा बरदोयो मोय कोरी बारे जीव जाय स्वप्रसाद अन्न दिलो भाई से अन्नमृता पाओ राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेमे दाको चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. श्री राधा वल्लभ महाप्रसादम की जय. I want to quickly ask